Hello, time for another reading vlog. This time I'm actually reading something new on my TBR. Yes, I've literally been the worst when it comes to reading books that were already on my TBR. But these books were free and I didn't expect to be given them because it's an entire series. So Harlequin sent me like all of the Iron Fae books. There are still 2 more to go because they haven't been reprinted in the reprint jackets. But yeah, when I clicked the thing on the email being like, request the full series, I didn't actually expect them to send me the full series. I remember seeing these books in the 2010s and I think I owned like book 3 or something because it was like $2 from Target. And then I never got the first one, so I never read them. But I know it was something that I would have been obsessed with because it's 2010s YA and it's about Fae. So I am catching up. Like, this was on my TBR at one point.
Sure, Jan.
Now, from what I can tell, this is actually like 3 series within one bigger series. So the first 4 books are like the Iron Fae series. So this is what I'm going to be reading in this vlog. And then the next 3 I only have the one so far. Is the Call of the Forgotten series, and I got so confused with this title. So this says the Iron Prince. Makes sense with the rest of the titles. It was not initially released as the Iron Prince. This is a new title. It was the Lost Prince.
So I am confusion.
I understand why they renamed it Iron, because it needed to match the rest of them. Why was it the Lost Prince to begin with? But for now, let's focus on the Iron King. I love the re-jackets of these series, like the new covers, so much better than the old covers. That was also something that put me off the old covers, is they weren't the best covers. These are great. I wish they had them in hardcover, but I don't think they printed these in hardcover. I will be starting this tonight on Sprints with Ellie. There is a Sprints and Chats with Kat and Ellie tonight. Just exciting. Get to talk to Ellie. Life-wise, I don't think there's too much exciting happening for the next 2 weeks. I hope I finish these within 2 weeks. It seems there will be no Harry Styles in this vlog, but like, I do have my Love on Tour tote right next to me. It lives like on my tripod, and there's still feathers on it. I did not wear a feather boa to the concert. Other things in life since my last vlog. I went to Queensland. I have a vlog of that one on my other channel, so you can go watch that. That was great. It was I took leave from work, and that was my last week of work, and I didn't have to think about it, and it was great because I quit my job. Yeah, had a breakdown, quit my job.
Bon appetit.
Really was hoping that something new would come along, and I did. I have a new job starting on Monday, and we'll see what that's like. They're actually sending me on a work trip in like 2 weeks. Amazing. I've never had a job that will pay for me to go somewhere. Let's go. Don't let the sunlight fool you. It's actually freezing.
12 seconds later.
There we go. That's reflecting the weather much better now. Welcome back to the floor. I have read 70 pages of The Iron King so far, and it has been completely predictable, but also like fun because I know it's going to be predictable because it's from 2010, and I just have to keep remembering because it's so 2010 and like so very much like, oh, I'm so poor and my clothes are so bad and everyone makes fun of me, I'm not like other girls type thing. But I have to keep remembering that this is one of the blueprint books. Like, this didn't do it because everyone else was doing it. Like, everyone copied one of these. So yeah, I've been guessing everything that's been happening so far, but I guess that's like part of the fun of the ride now. One thing I learned, because there's a foreword in it because it's the 10th anniversary edition like type ones, they're tech-based Fae. So like, the Iron Fae come from humans' belief and reliance on technology, and they're gonna end up hating like their enemies to like the original Fae. What? Was not expecting that. Just thought they were fae in general. My camera battery died, and during that I finally caved and bought another camera battery. I want to buy a new camera, but I don't have the money for one yet, so new battery it is because that's cheaper. So what even was I saying? I think it was around it being very 2010s, because you know it was written in 2010, and it does read like teenagers from that time, because I was like her age at this moment in time. She's like 15, 16 in, I'm just going to assume 2010 because it's when it was published. I was like 14, 15 then. There was a moment where ruffle was used, as in like ROFL. I was like, oh my god, yeah, we really did speak like that. Yeah, then after that, like, from the get-go, it was very obvious that Robbie was a fae. It almost seems like they want to try and set up a love triangle type thing here with Robbie and Ash, who I'm assuming is the like young prince who might rather see her dead than let her touch his icy heart. But I don't want there to be a love triangle.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Right now, Robbie's finally giving her an explanation of things, and he mentions the Unseelie Court, the Court of Mab, Queen of Air and Darkness, sworn enemies of King Oberyn and Queen Titania. Yeah, and then Megan mentions A Midsummer's Night Dream, and I was like, I know all of these names, even like Queen of Air and Darkness. So is that where the title for, hold on, it's like right here. This one came from? Queen of Air and Darkness? I thought they were referring to Annabelle, who is a shadow hunter. But the Blackthorns do have their connection to the Fae. Really long chapters, like I'm 70 pages in and on chapter 3, but like they're easy to read chapters, which I appreciate. So I was watching one of Alison Page's videos, and she wasn't even talking about annotating or anything like that. I just randomly got the urge to start annotating this, so I did. And like, it's not very aesthetic, but it is what it is. It was like 70 pages in, so I just kind of went through a few things in there that I knew I wanted to like write or highlight, though I'm only using the pen. I'm a little worried about the highlighter bleeding through the pages. And then yeah, now I've started way more on it from like chapter 4 onwards. A lot more on the pages, and I've been underlining anytime Robbie calls Megan princess, and he calls her princess a lot. Like there was one time, it was 3 times on one page he called her a princess. She doesn't get it yet. We get it because it's written on the back of the cover that her dad's the king. But yeah, she did believe about fairies very quickly though, which is good, so we don't have to go through the whole like chapters and chapters of you're lying to me. I also would make the decision to go get my little brother, though I do have like a 6-year-old nephew called Ethan, and her little brother is like 4 and called Ethan. So now I'm just imagining him as my nephew, and yeah, I would go to Fairy to get him.
Can be, speak, and be one with the words.
Avalorium, Green Anne, Luatha, Ty.
Oh, with all you're losing me.
So remember when I said that there wasn't a lot going on at the moment and it was all boring and I had heaps of time and stuff? Yeah, that was a lie. So I started my new job this week, and I've worked there 3 days, and I'm already being sent on a work trip next week, and I'll actually be gone for a week. And then I also have 3 conventions within 9 days. 3 in 9 days. Already love this new job. They're paying for me to go to Adelaide, which is where I'm from. And then they're also putting me up in a hotel for a bit, but I'm going early. And then I'm going there Thursday. I'll be staying with my mum. Then I'll be doing Adelaide Oz Comic Con. Then the night that Oz Comic Con ends, I'm going to the hotel and then immediately starting on the work conference. And I'll be there until Wednesday. And then I fly back the Thursday. I have a little bit of time to myself, as in like Thursday night, and that's it. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is Melbourne Oz Comic Con. And then I go back to work again on Monday. Wait, do I go back to work? No, I don't. Monday's a public holiday, like not next Monday, but the Monday after. It is a public holiday, so I get that day off because they're giving me the day in lieu. Anyway, book. Yeah, because I started a new job. I'm about halfway. Haven't read as much as I like. I don't know why I thought I would make myself read faster when I was unemployed for like a week. Like, I should know myself better by now. It doesn't matter what's going on in my life. I'm going to be a slow reader no matter what. But I do want to finish this one before I go to Adelaide next week. It is currently Friday. I go to Adelaide on Thursday. And then I think I'll bring this one with me to Adelaide. I think I'll have to use a blue pen for that one because the green feels too green. If you're watching this right now, thank you for sitting here and like watching me ramble. But yeah, really enjoying this. Like I've been, like you can never really see what I'm doing, but like you can kind of see. Like I've been doing a couple of little drawings, but I would really love to like, there's people who like on here like do headers relating to what's in the chapter, and I think I'd love to do that, but I want to finish the book first. I like Megan. And then Puck. He has been a bird for a while now, but the next chapter is called Puck's Return. My theory was that he was turned into a bird so she would be forced to spend time with Ash and then create this connection with Ash before Puck could come along again and be like, no, bad idea, stay away from him. But it says Puck's Return right next, so I don't know. Maybe she's still already got a little bit of connection to Ash because he did save her life. He doesn't seem completely the worst, but enemies to lovers come through. And I adore Grimalkin. Love that cat. I almost feel like Grimalkin is akin to the cereal from ACOTAR. Like they just live for the drama. Now I need like a club starting to form with like Grimalkin and the cereal, and I'm sure there's other characters. I don't know if I mentioned this in my last clip when I was talking about the book, but like I need like a Jim Henson 80s type adaptation of this. Like I would love ACOTAR to have one of those like 80s type adaptations, but I know if they ever do end up making it, it'll be like very CGI and stuff. But the vibes of an 80s Jim Henson type thing would be so good. And I've been feeling so many like different vibes from this. Go away, tramps. So the other pieces of media that I've been like, oh yes, is like in that realm is, well, obviously like A Midsummer's Night Dream, because that's where the Fae in this come from. Alice in Wonderland, The Wizard of Oz, Cinderella, Labyrinth, and HR Puffin Stuff. Does anyone else remember HR Puffin Stuff? I used to be terrified of Puffin Stuff, but weirdly adored Witchy Poo, who was the villain of the series. There's this whole episode where Witchy Poo like has like a party or convention or something at her castle for all the other witches. Enamored with that episode.
Let's get the show on the road. Come on!
So I don't know what that says about me, that I was terrified of the good guys and was on board with the villain. But it's probably something to do with the costumes. It was like a 60s show or something. But yeah, there were moving trees in this, I think. And that just reminded me of the ones from HR Puff and stuff. And do they have them in The Wizard of Oz as well? But I'm having a good time with this. I haven't read much during the week, but I've made sure to read like at least one chapter. Oh, there was a ding saying my electricity bill is coming through. But I've made sure to read just a little bit every day, and I want to like really get through it this weekend. I probably would be further along into it if Disney Plus wasn't being an idiot and removing a whole bunch of content from their platform today, actually. So I watched Empower and Rosalind and the Willow movie. I don't know if the Willow movie is being removed, but the other two definitely are. And then I'm about to start the Willow TV show. I will not finish this before the end of the day. But Disney, this show came out like 6 months ago. You didn't even give it a chance to live. And I'm not gonna go out and buy the DVD. So Project Free TV coming through again. Oh, and my battery arrived. I have to charge it. But like, look at that, I have 2 batteries now, leveling up. Another way that I get very distracted by the things that I want to do. I bought a new washing basket thing and I built it. And I even folded up my towels and my face washer really cutely. So I made that. Well, like, I put it together. I didn't, you know, carve the wood and stuff. It's from Kmart.
Can we do? There we go. Okay. We're still gonna be wobbly. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. I don't know what is this.
Yeah, so we're saying like,
Go.
go.
Yes, we can do that. Okay.
Like you said, we're good at this. Okay. Fine.
Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just tweak your body and mind. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight oil. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stay. Let's speak my mind. Oh,
Okay, for real this time my life is boring for a little while. Until like August, September. But I went to Adelaide, I did Oz Comic Con, I did a work conference, came back, I did Melbourne Oz Comic Con. Then I read like 2 or 3 chapters on that trip, and I've read a little bit more since I came back. There is one note in here where I'm like, where is it? This one here. Yeah. Can you tell I did this on an airplane? We hit some turbulence. I was trying to draw a straight line. Yeah, really enjoying this one, and Like, the 16-year-old girl is not the person who's annoying me the most. It's like the, I don't even know how old he is, a few hundred years old Fae love interest. Just, you can break the rules. You can change the rules. Nothing changes unless you try and make change. Because Ash is very much like, oh, winter and summer can never be together. That's always how it's been. It's never gonna work. You can't change the rules. Shut up. We know it's gonna change by the end of the series. The question is just how long it's going to take. Megan, I'm really liking. Like, anything that annoys me that she does, I'm like, I understand because she's a 16-year-old girl. Puck is back. And, I don't remember if I said it before, but I was very much like, I do not want a love triangle up in here. And we got the love triangle. How old is Puck? He's gotta be old. Like old. Like older than Ash, I reckon. Every time Megan does say like, oh, I just want to go home and live a normal life. No, you don't. No, you don't. You would go back to that normal life and you'd be like, this is boring. Like, this is what I'm doing with my life, just contributing to capitalism and working the same job day in and day out and like not doing anything for myself. No. You'll want to go back to Never Never and be the fairy princess you are. Yes. Her father, the one that she grew up with. So not her stepfather and not Oberon, but the one she grew up with that she thought who was her father. Why haven't we learnt what happened to him yet? Because it's clearly got to be like a Fae thing. He walked into the water and never came out. In Australia, we call that doing a Harold Holt. Because one of our prime ministers, Harold Holt, walked into the water one day and he never came out and they never found his body. There's a swimming pool named after him now. But anyway, Megan's father. Where are you at? I don't believe he's dead. And at the end of book 2, we learned that she like forgot her father as well. So when the oracles took a memory from her, she took the entire, like all her memories about her dad? Or was it just like a ripple effect? If you forget one thing, you forget all of it. So when are we learning about her father?
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Very different Fae Rowan than what I'm used to. And I also have a note in here because like Megan has remarked multiple times how gorgeous Rowan is, and then she also remarked how beautiful and gorgeous Sage was, and then of course she loves Ash, and I was like, if this were adult, it would be a very different book. Especially since like Rowan would. I am just having a very good time with this series, and I'm really glad I decided to annotate. Like, they're not pretty annotations at all, but I'm so glad. I don't know why I wasn't as hesitant to annotate these books. Maybe it's because I didn't pay for them and because like I got them for free because the publisher sent me the whole series. So I was like, I'm not wasting my money. But yeah, I'm having a good time. This update is just to say I adore my 3-day weekends that I have now. I am like halfway through the Iron Daughter, really enjoying it. I miss Ash too, Megan. But I get it, since you've started the love triangle, she spent a lot of time with Ash in book 1, and now she's going to spend a lot of time with Puck now that she knows Puck likes her. And that the Iron Trader just arrived in the mail, so 1 more to go until I have the full set. And I also, like, I had no idea who the next set were about, and I just looked at the back and it's about Ethan. So we're gonna get to see him as a teenager because he's like 4 years old right now. So yeah, let's go take some Instagram pictures. Jamie Campbell Bower is coming to Melbourne next month. And I'm meeting him. I'm probably also going to be volunteering, and I usually get put in guest management. So I may be standing in front of him all weekend. And like, back in the light, my copy of City of Ashes is signed by Dom Sherwood. And now it's gonna be signed by Jamie Campbell Bower. It's gonna be signed by both Jaces. What do I wear? What do I do with my photo with him? Oh my god, it's been a while since I've like been starstruck by meeting a celebrity. Like I'm used to it now. Like last weekend and the weekend before, I was in front of celebrities all weekend and I was fine. Why is it always at the Hub Productions like conventions that I feel like this? Because the last one that I felt like this was All Hell Breaks Loose. And that was actually worse. That was the Hollywood show when I had to work myself up. I'm meeting Jamie Campbell Bower.
You're chilling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me high and dry.
Welcome back to my terribly lit kitchen. I don't know if I've ever explained on the vlog, but this window, the blinds always stay shut. I'm on the ground floor. This goes to like the alleyway space that's out the back of the building. And one time I looked over and there was just a woman going through my window. So now that stays shut. But I did finish The Iron Daughter. The bookmark's still in there because I'm still reading like the survival guide to the Never Never, which I'm guessing is written by Megan. Really enjoyed this. I'm just having a good time reading the series. It has all of the 2010s nostalgia. And you know what? I just missed that era because I miss being a teenager. Life was just simpler. Now I'm here in the kitchen because I need to cook for the week. I hate cooking. So, you know, maybe doing this on camera more often would just give me more incentive to cook while I have a chat about the book I've been reading. As if this vlog isn't going to be long enough already because I'm only halfway. A preheat oven to 180. I also don't use the actual oven that's in my kitchen because the button doesn't work properly, so I can never turn it on. So this thing gets to work out. I am making Brussels sprouts, bacon and hazelnut salad because apparently Brussels sprouts are good for you in winter. Then I'm also going to be making chicken and avocado wraps, but I have like fake chicken because I hate cooking meat. So the book, yes, really enjoying it. The ending where Ash and Meg end up back in the human world, they're not going to end up going to high school together, are they? Like Ash in high school? I feel like it's going to happen. And then like they'll get pulled back into the Never Never because obviously, like maybe she'll get to, you know, get her high school diploma before she becomes queen. Which, Iron Horse, oh my god. Reading book 1, you didn't think you'd end up being emotional over Iron Horse's death. But here we are. Oh. And she didn't get it either. Called her queen in the end. Didn't register. Come on. Meg, get onto it. You're the Iron Queen. Also, yeah, very teenage romance angsty, which is to be expected. Even with Ash, who's a few hundred years old. Because the entire book, he was like, no, we can't be together. The rules. And then right at the end, he's like, fuck the rules. But then doesn't expect her to follow. What do you think was gonna happen, mate? So I'm glad they are together. Like, I like Puck, but just not for Megan. Like the bogies and the Fae named Spider underneath Ethan's bed. No, thank you. Here is my tray of Brussels sprouts. Oh, yes, Charles. Charles, the piano player in Leah's, place. It's her dad. I was shook when I read that. I wonder if I wrote shook somewhere. Yes, I did. I wrote, oh my god, shook. I had to stop for a good couple of minutes and just went. I feel like I was talking about Puck and Ash and Meg, the love triangle, before, and then just stopped. Yeah, I'm not keen on that love triangle. I need Puck to move on because he's not gonna be it. I also feel like it's kind of unnecessary. In book 1, Meg mentioned multiple times how she thought of Puck as an older brother. And then suddenly she's like making out with him. So she's probably gonna go back and be like, oh no, I love you, but in a brotherly way. Still. Oh, yes, I have like a literal Yas queen in here. Megan finally using her powers and using her authority as royalty to get shit done. Finally. She was embracing it and then suddenly she got cut off from it, so she has to start embracing it again soon anyway. The next one's called the Iron Queen, so I'm sure she will. Oh, yeah, I have here, this is Iron Horse going princess, and then it was an honor, my queen. And then I wrote, it's not in capitals. That was so sad, because Iron Horse always speaks in all caps, and then suddenly it was just the whole sentence case. It was my birthday yesterday and we had cake at my work and I forgot it in the fridge. So my boss brought back the remains from what we didn't eat. She dropped it off for me, which was nice. And yes, did work on my birthday. I need that money. And it was a Thursday, but tonight I'm going out to dinner with some friends. I have been reading The Iron Queen. I am on page 118. Still enjoying this series. I was worried at the end of book 2 that once they both left the Feywild and were gonna live in the mortal world, I was like, they're not gonna go to high school together, are they? And they did consider it for a second. Ash was like, if you want me to go to high school, I will go to high school. Thank God they are not. They have more important things to do. She's gonna be a Fey queen. She's learnt all she's gonna learn at school that would benefit her in the Fey realm. Puck needs to fix his attitude. Dude is hundreds of years old and acting like a 17-year-old boy. So I know that he's been acting as one for a while. Oh, and can't forget to mention this. Taylor Swift tickets go on sale on Wednesday. I'm never saving money in my life. It's just not happening. The top tier VIP package is twice the amount I paid for my top tier Harry Styles package. What even? So I will not be getting VIP. I'm aiming for a reserve, and you know what? I will get a reserve. I will get a reserve seat at the Eras tour. And I'm going with Abby. It took just one message to convince her to come down to Melbourne, to come to the Eras tour with me. It's the week before the Celestial Festival as well. So she's gonna come down here, then we're gonna do the Eras tour, and then we're gonna go up to Brisbane and we're gonna go attend Starfall, and it's gonna be great. I love having friends that like can travel and want to travel with you and go do these fun things. It's going to be the entire country and New Zealand, and then also fighting off Americans who are trying to take these seats away from people who haven't had a chance, all fighting it out. Anyway, let's go to my birthday dinner. Finished it. So it's kind of confusing. The first 3 are Megan's story, and then 4th is Ash's, and then 5, 6, and 7 are Ethan's, and then 8, 9, 10 are Puck's. So this is like the end of Megan's story, but Megan and Ash didn't end up together. So like they have to end up together in his story, right? Because it does say on the back, Ash seeks a way to honor his vow to stand by Megan's side to stay in the Iron Realm. He must have a soul and a mortal body. But this one, so again, did very much quite enjoy it, because like I thought number 4 was going to be her story as well, and the Iron Knight was still gonna pertain to Ash, but it was still gonna be from Meg's point of view. I really hope there is some Meg's POV in here, because the rest are all from boy POVs. Not to be like that girl, but I prefer reading from female POVs.
I'll give you 3 reasons. 1, she's a female. 2, she's not a boy. And 3, and most importantly, she's a girl!
It didn't fall into some traps that I thought it was going to though. Like, right at the beginning I thought Meg and Ash were going to end up going to high school. Thank God they didn't. And then towards the end, when she was dying and then she put her like power into the tree, I was like, she's not going to lose her power, is she? I was so worried that it was going to end up like that. I wasn't worried she was going to die because there was another book. But then she got to keep her powers, which thank God. And now she's queen, like properly. So it didn't fall into the trap of main girl loses her powers. Because I wasn't worried about her dying, there was like a whole section that I just wasn't feeling the emotion, because I was like, she's fine. So like the stakes weren't there for me. But oh yes, Ferrum coming back as Iron King, saw that coming. But I was still like, it wasn't like, oh, I saw that coming. It was like, I fucking knew it. Puck is still kind of annoying me because he's thousands of years old, but he's acting like a 17-year-old boy with a broken heart. Please get over that. Now we go into the Iron Knight. I really hope Ash and Megan end up together. However, at the end of book 2, there was like a guide to the Iron Fae, and there was a little section on Ariella, and it was like, well, she's dead, or is she? I don't want Ariella back. She could be great for all I know, but she's gonna get in the way of Ash and Meg. I do want to finish this before the Because We Can readathon starts, and that is in like 5 days. This is the biggest of the first 4. I probably won't finish it by then, but I can have hope. Taylor Swift tickets go on sale tomorrow. I have been like swinging between forgetting that that's happening and just being, and then I remember that it's happening tomorrow and I start getting anxious, so I'm starting to get in that anxious thing again, and I just need it to happen and be done one way or the other.
One long, angry line later.
Holy fuck. I'm still in the waiting room, but Jenna got through and we're going to Taylor Swift. That was the most stressful few hours of my life. Harry Styles wasn't this stressful. I was on the phone to my psychologist trying to get tickets, and she straight up was like, I don't know how to deal with this. Like, not me, but like just tick attack. Oh my god. Now I have to email my psychologist being like, we fucking got tickets. Because she, at the end of the session, she was like, you need to email me when you get tickets. Oh my god. Oh my god. Smile for the vlog. Yes, this vlog is still going. If you're still watching, thank you, and leave me a fairy emoji down below. But the Because We Can Readathon has started, and anytime I make a TBR, just assume those are the books that I'm not going to read, because all of my TBRs are bullshit, okay? I am still reading The Iron Knight. I got through like 100 pages of it yesterday during sprints, which was good. So I'm like halfway. I'm further along than I look though. Actually, I'm probably further than halfway, because the book itself ends earlier, and then there's like a short novella and then a preview of like one of the newer books. Being in Ash's head is okay. He's a bit like broody and like miscommunicating for someone who's hundreds of years old. Ariella came back, and yeah, the thing is, I probably wouldn't have seen that coming if the whole Ariella is dead or is she thing wasn't in the like guide to fairy thing. So I will finish this at some point, but you know, now the Because We Can Readathon has started, and well, this vlog has to end this weekend when I meet Jamie Campbell Bower.
Now go stand in the corner and think about what you did.
It didn't have the extra bit.
The story starts when it was hot and it was summer and he wasn't locked with a thing, she was holding the matches.
His words aren't written there. They just... they wrote them differently. Because I still couldn't quite hear what she was singing. And they didn't write it in the new lyrics. I still like the old lyrics. We can recognize that it's not the best lyrics and still enjoy it.
Psycho, cause I like to rhyme her name with things, but she's so much better. She's ticking faster than you can say sabotage.
Someone came up to me today instead of Jamie Campbell Bower and said that they watched and liked my videos. So, thank you to that person. You made my day. If you're watching this, thank you. I would have talked longer, but I got pulled away. Very busy day. Thank you. If I had a nickel for every time that I have been in the presence of one of my celebrity crushes this year and then got sick after that weekend, I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right? I have finished The Iron Knight. Enjoyed it, missed Megan, was super happy when I found out that The novella at the end was from her point of view. I'm happy that things ended up happy. And like solid 2000s YA series. That's all I got to say about it. It was good. This vlog is long enough. And I did promise that this vlog would end with me meeting Jamie Campbell Bower. So I did. There's the picture proof. Editing cat here. I realized I never showed the book. So there's Dom Sherwood's original signature. And then you flip to this one. And Jamie took up the page and it says go with instinct, and that was relating to the conversation we had. And now that like there's also like very folded over here because Jamie opened it, he went like this and then he just smoothed that out and then wrote on it. So that crease here, which you can't see in the video, was made by Jamie Campbell Bower. He is lovely. And his voice is just like very calming as well, which is, you know, hilarious when like he plays Vecna and stuff. But his like actual voice, very calming. When he like gives you advice as well, it sounds like he means it. And then on the Sunday, when like he first got there, he was like, oh, hi Kat, how are you? But like, it sounded like a how are you, like he meant it. That's all I've got. Thank you for sticking around to this vlog to the end of it. It went on way longer than I planned on it going on. That's what I get for reading 4 books in one vlog. I do have the beginning of the next lot of the trilogy. I'm still waiting on number 3 to be printed and sent to me. I will read these and vlog them at some point, but this is like Ethan's story. It's gonna be really weird because we just saw him as like a 5-year-old. And yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you've read this series and what you thought of it. Well, I hope you have because I had spoilers throughout this. And subscribe to my channel, please, and stick around a little longer. There's somewhere some more videos that you might like.